Andrew, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're live. Just
Okay,
give me
great.
1 second. I'm getting out of here on. All right. Got 0 viewers. And just email Madhu. Let's see where he's at. One viewer. All right, cool. Got one person on.
And then, Andrew, have you activated the Q&A feature?
Oh, hold on. I did not.
You just haven't posted the bulletin?
Yeah, you know what? I'll just have them posted both, and that's fine.
All right, Madhu, if you can hear me, just type in there, say check. Great. Well, hello class. I'm Andrew Chaffetz, founder of Nopal. I also have Alec on here. He's over there. There he
Hey
is.
guys.
Great. And so we wanted to give you a sense of the project that you're going to be working on. I came up with Nopal my college dorm room my freshman year, thinking of how I can aggregate all the different technologies that we use in our school into one single place. And that's where I thought of the idea. And we're going to be having you guys work on a project that'll help us determine some market research problem that we're having, and what we'd like to have you work on. And so right now, I'm going to go into a demonstration of the platform to give you guys some ideas of some of the features that you might not be using yet, and some of the things that you can take advantage of. So I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. Okay. All right, you should be able to see my screen now. Hey, Matty, if you can see my screen, just say I can see the screen. Just want to make sure. Great. All right. So this is the home page of Nopal. You'll be able to see this is the bulletin board when you log onto onto nopal.com. You'll be able to access all different posts from different courses that you're enrolled in. So some of you might be enrolled in 1, maybe 2 courses in Eller, MIS 304, and the marketing class that you're in. You'll be able to see videos, post videos. Really, it's essentially an activity feed for all of the posts and activity that's going on within your courses. You can post simply right from the general bulletin board, and this is the bulletin board for all of your courses. Again, you can go to the left-hand side and see the courses and groups that you're enrolled in, and post directly to those specific groups or courses. Now, if you want to just see one of the specific courses, you just go on the left-hand side, click on your course. Some of your other courses might be within here. I'm just going to click on Math 113. And I'll go to Math 113, Elements of Calculus. I'll be able to access that activity feed. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Okay. Okay. So when you're within Math 113 Elements of Calculus, you'll be able to go onto the bulletin board, see the lectures that are posted, see the different posts, and be able to communicate and collaborate with other students. Now, this is meant for you to post any questions that you might have and kind of eliminate the redundancy of questions asked in class. So, if you might have a question for Madhu about something within Marketing 440 or about the Nopal project, you can simply go on here and say, hey, Madhu, what is Nopal and this project that we are doing? And then I can just post that simply right to Math 113 Elements of Calculus page, and then all the students within the class can post and comment on that certain question and collaborate on that. And so that eliminates a lot of the redundancy that you'll see over email, and that way the professor, Madhu, is not getting 40 questions about the same exact thing. So let me go back to the home page. You'll also be able to see groups on the left-hand side. This is probably a feature that you might not have utilized yet. The other section that we talked to last week is going to be utilizing this for their project. And so what you can do is on the left-hand side, create a group if you want to, just by clicking the plus button. Go through the process of creating a group. I'll just show you what a group looks like. So if I hit Group Project on the left-hand side, you'll be able to access the group. All right. I'm on Hangouts on Air, so it's a little slow right now. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So you'll be able to see the group, you'll be able to post in it, and essentially you're creating your own group right on Nopal, very similar to Facebook. You can add members right within the members area. You can share documents. You can even share your own Hangouts on Air or Hangout experience right within your group. So if you want to, let's say you're having trouble meeting in person for one of your projects, you'd like to meet online. So you can utilize Hangouts. It's essentially a regular Google Hangout if you've ever used it before, similar to Skype. You'll be able to start that up. So if I want to do, group project online, and I can say, hey guys, join the Hangout right here. And then I can post that directly to the course. And then the Hangout would appear, and then all I have to do is press join. Same thing with Hangouts on Air. We're on a Hangout on Air right now, which means it's being broadcasted and recorded to YouTube. So it can be sent back to Nopal automatically for you. So you can use this if you wanted to have a group project online and maybe one of the members is not able to attend and you want to record that session so they can keep up to date on what's going on within the discussions of the group. So if you want to record it, you can just create a Hangout on Air, start it, press post, and then join, and you'll be in a Hangout on Air just like we are on right now. It'll be posted to all group members within there. On the right-hand side of the platform, you can see that there's a little agenda feature. If Matt, who's using the assignments, you can be able to see different assignments by clicking on the black dots on this little agenda. And this will be able to see, you'll be able to see upcoming list of assignments and due dates, especially for tests, quizzes, any assignment within the course you'll be able to see coming up right here. And then if you go to the settings, if you go to your calendar settings, you'll be able to change the notifications and reminders. You can also add your Google Calendar to here, so that all you have to do is add Google account and then add your Google Calendar, go through that process. You can also add reminders. So if you wanted to add a reminder to every single assignment or every quiz or every test that you have in the course, and you'll get an automatic notification to your email, and that'll give you the notification so you never forget to submit an assignment on time. And so that's what that feature is for. We'll also be launching push notifications on the mobile app that'll be launching in late spring, and you guys will be the first to test that out. Additionally, on the right-hand side, you can also filter out between the courses that you're in. So if you're within MIS and the marketing class, you can filter between the courses right from the agenda. Or if you want to get a bigger view of your calendar, you can always access the calendar on the left-hand side of the platform. And this will be able to see my calendars. You can see all the different courses. I can uncheck certain courses that I don't want to see. Or my personal calendar, which would be Google Calendar if I had that on there. I can also filter out the simple assignments, so homework, exam, project, quiz. And now this would be a really good function to use if you're looking at, hey, what tests are coming up within the next couple months, and I can just unfilter all of them besides exam, and then I can see what exams are coming up within this course and when they are approaching. Great. You can also view this by week, day, 5-day view, and list. And then to simply navigate to other months, you just press the right-hand side or the left arrow right there. You can also create events. If you want to go and create an event on the calendar, you can go through here, add attendees, add other individuals on Nopal right to your event. Great. Now, key thing is when you're on Nopal, on the left-hand side, you'll see this little thing called Documents. Now, it's important when you go into your course to access your course documents. I would recommend to go to your course first and then to go and select Documents right here. It's the easiest way to get to your documents. Now, the documents on the left-hand side is used mainly for personal documents, but you can access the course documents from there. It's just a little longer to get there. So I would suggest if you want to go to your course documents, just go right to the course, go to Documents tab that's within the course, then hit Public, and then you're within the course. You'll be able to see the files. All I have to do is click on the file right here, and then I'll be able to see that file within here. There you go. Great. I can also access my assignments, my grades, my about page, the bulletin, the roster as well. Cool. All right, I'm just going to go back. On the top right, you also have notifications. So if you ever wanted to ask any, if you ever wanted to see what's going on within the platform, any activity, if someone asks you a question, you can see on the top right all the different notifications, and then you can also view all the notifications. If you wanted to change your notification settings, again, you can go to your settings top right, and then go to your notifications, and then I can now change what I want to get emailed about. Now, default setting is that you do get notifications from professors, so you can't change that. However, if you want to change whether you get notifications from different students or comments that you posted on, or submission comments, which are from faculty members, you can change those right here. You'll automatically get web notifications by default, and then we will be coming out with the push notifications, which we will be launching, and we'll let you know once they have launched. You can change your profile picture from here, simply just hovering over and pressing upload, and then you upload a file. And then another interesting feature is that you can also ask anonymous questions on your course page. So if you wanted to simply, maybe you're confused about something, about the marketing project with Nopal, and you want to ask a certain question, you can ask that anonymously. And all you have to do is click the button right here, and it highlights in blue. See that? And then I can just ask, what is Nopal, right? And then I can post that right to the course, and then I'd be able to post that and interact with the students. Great. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to send it off to Alec to be able to explain a little bit more about the project and go into more details. There we are again. Go into more details regarding the market research project.
All right, hey guys, I'm Alec. Matt Hugo, let me know in the comments if there's any audio-video problems, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Like Andrew mentioned, we're here today to get help from you guys. In addition to using Nopal for your course this semester, we need your help with a real business problem we're facing. So our company right now, we use a standard business model for our market. Our competitors, you can think of them as Blackboard and Desire to Learn, those platforms you already use at the University of Arizona. And platforms like that, what they do is negotiate site licenses with universities to license their software. So for example, D2L. We don't know their exact prices, but they'll do something like they'll approach the University of Arizona and say, you have 40,000 students, we're going to go ahead and charge you something like $10 per student, and then you're going to have an annual multi-year agreement to pay for all those students on your campus to have the right to use Desire to Learn. Now that's the current business model that Nopal is taking. We're cloud-delivered products, we have a low-cost structure, and we're trying to enter into these kind of multi-year agreements to license our product to universities. But what we want to do is obviously to get competitive advantage over these other players in the market and to do something that they're not able to do. I know that Matt, who showed you the video for the big vision for Nopal, what we want to do with version 2.0, 3.0 down the road a few years from now is bring more and more pieces of the university environment that you interact with onto our platform. So right now you guys are kind of beta testers working through the classroom environment. That's what you'll be using for this platform for this semester. We want to bring in those non-academic things you do on a campus as well. So clubs, organizations, departments on campus that have their own online presence somewhere else. We want to bring them on a Nopal so they'll all have their own page. Similar like you have a group page or a course page, each club organization will have their own page on Nopal as well. And when we add those kind of features on Nopal, we can start to do really cool things, we hope. What we want to be able to do is monetize those presences on Nopal and work with universities to directly market their products and services to students. So for example, at the University of Arizona right now, you go to arizonaathletics.com to buy a sports pass. But what if you could buy that sports pass on Nopal instead of having to navigate to a different site because it's already where you go for your courses? Beyond that, you get mass emails from the bookstore, from various departments on campus about meal plans, about things they're trying to sell you, and you get those regardless of whether you've already bought them before, have any interest in purchasing them, or even the right kind of target market for that message. What we want to do on Nopal is use all the data we have, because right now data is siloed on these various different department pages. And we know about you as a student to reduce the kind of information messages you see. So if you've already bought a sports pass, then you wouldn't get a message on Nopal saying, hey, go ahead and buy your sports pass. But if you haven't purchased one yet and maybe have 10 friends on the platform who do have their sports passes, maybe you're the kind of person who needs that message and would most benefit from seeing it and then making an action and actually taking that purchase. And so what we want to do with Nopal is if we can facilitate those transactions, that's a huge value add for the universities. And then we could take a small cut, a transactions fee, just like all fees you currently pay at the university or anything you buy has a transaction fee on top of it. Nopal would just be the one facilitating that, and we would take the cut. So what the help we need from you guys is, can this business model, can this product you want to sell, being able to facilitate university products and selling university products and services on our platform, is this viable? So a couple of key things here is that obviously we're working with student data here. So there are a lot of regulations, both at the state and federal level, about what you're allowed to do with student data. So can we use student data to facilitate these kind of transactions? How far can we use them? Do we need to anonymize them? All sorts of questions regarding regulations around student data. And then how big is the market here? I mentioned a few examples, so maybe buying meal plans, online sports passes, but how many different things could be facilitated on Nopal? How big is the market for it? Do students want to buy these things? I'm not sure exactly how big these markets are if it'd be viable as a business model for us, but these are the kind of questions we want you guys to help us with and just see, is this a viable business model for our company? And I know that Andrew posted on the bulletin for your course. If you all have Nopal up, he posted asking for any questions. So this is like kind of the Q&A section. If I missed anything, Andrew, go ahead and jump in here. But this is where we want to just get your feedback and learn more about what you guys are curious about or any questions to kind of clarify what we're trying to do this semester.
Yeah, so the first question I saw was regarding any other competitors besides Blackboard and D2L. So I can send you guys a list of competitors that we have on a Google Doc, and that way you can get some more information on the competitors. So we do have other competitors such as Canvas, which is more of an interactive LMS. We do have Yammer, which is in a different sector. They're more in the enterprise sector, going right to companies. And Campus Labs is another one, as well as OrgSync. OrgSync is more of a social campus life application, not meant to be for your courses, but focuses on the campus life aspect that Nopal eventually will have. Echo 360, Ellucian, Course Load, or some of the others, but I'll send you this list so you guys can see some of the competitors. I don't see another question up there.
Yeah, while we're answering current questions, you guys can be typing them as we're answering, just so we can kind of go through them as quickly as possible. I know there's probably a slight tape delay as well, so don't be discouraged if we're not answering your question immediately.
Hey, Madhu, do you want to type in the box on the right-hand side to see if anyone else has a question? So if you guys are watching us now, I think there's a lot of people watching on your computer. We were going to have the questions being asked on Google Hangouts, but we thought it might be easier just to have the students ask the questions right on the bulletin. So if you go on Notebowl and on your course page, Keisha, I think, asked the question already, but if you comment with your question on there, it's the most easiest for us to see your question being asked. Got it. Yeah, it might be easier. Hey, Madhu, if you want to just type the questions for now, so we can just get we can get going. If you want to just have the students type it in within your chat on Hangout, we can just ask it right from there.
I'm seeing a few more questions here, and I'll get started taking a couple of them. So Christina, I see that you asked, are there any particular areas of monetization that you want us to prioritize or look at all possible options? Right now, all possible options, looking for creative responses here. Things that we've already kind of considered and would love more research on or just more details on, especially things like facilitating club fees. So right now, if you're a part of any club on campus, you probably have to hand cash or a check to your club treasurer, and they kind of facilitate that whole transaction on their own. And it's very slow process, and there's not a lot of accountability for it, and it's just difficult. And so if we could have a club presence on Notebowl, they could do those club fees paid through Notebowl, and we could help make that job easier for treasurers. And it just seems like a very logical thing to do. If you're coordinating through Notebowl, then you just go ahead and pay those fees there. And then things like I already mentioned, like sports passes and meal plans, things that are digital in nature to where you're just kind of refilling a CAT card. Things like that we've already kind of thought about, and we would love more research on just like, is that possible in terms of student data protection? And then is there a market for that? Is it large enough? Would students want to use something like that? Do they feel safe using it? Questions all along those lines.
And then the next question was, how do you plan to advertise and eventually sell this product to other universities from Grant? So we will be utilizing the platform beyond your courses as well. So eventually, when we have a full implementation at universities and at U of A and replace D2L and Blackboard at the university, we'll be able to have all users on the university right on Notebowl. And so essentially, in terms of advertising and selling this product, we'll be able to put on clubs, organizations will be able to market their certain products on the platform and personalize it to your experience. And so, for example, if I'm an administrator and I am selling sports passes like Alec was talking about before, I'll be able to utilize Nopal to be able to market and message that out to the school to users that want to hear about that certain message. So if you as a user, as a student, want to hear about certain sports passes or meal plans, you'll be able to get that message right on Nopal, right on the bulletin board. And it'll be very similar to when you see a Facebook bulletin board bulletin post that's advertised or sponsored. You'll be able to see that. Or it might be even just not even sponsored at all. It might be just catered to you right from a page that you're following on Nopal. And that's how I'll be able to essentially market to the users. And I don't really call it advertising because I think it's more personalized, catered messaging to the students that want to hear it. Because if you don't want to hear a message about sports passes, then you won't be following that certain page or won't be following the Arizona Athletics page to be able to hear about those certain things. So it'll be more catered messaging and personal message than advertising. And then the other question from Charles was, are you at any other universities besides U of A right now? And so we're currently piloting with faculty at ASU, Ohio University, and Pima Community College, and we'll be expanding our programs to other universities around the nation, currently talking with many of them from the conferences we've been attending. And U of A is our focus right now to do a full implementation and test, basically test case for a full-blown implementation at the university level. All right, Amanda, is there a specific segment from the ones you listed other than the academics that you want to focus on? The action. Alec, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so right now our focus is definitely on higher education. So that's our target market with universities like the one Andrew mentioned, especially because our product was first developed with that in mind of the university environment. We definitely see the product as flexible enough to be used in other environments. So K-12 is an obvious next step we could do there. We've already talked to high schools, especially the upper segment of K-12, because high schools have clubs, a lot of courses. It's closer to the higher education model. And then beyond that, we know that the market is definitely growing for this kind of platform, a social community platform for businesses. So big corporations need a way to communicate and have an online presence as well. So in the future, maybe 3 to 5 years down the road, it's something we're definitely looking at. But in the near term, we see our strength as selling to universities in the higher education space.
Great. Kyle asks, since Blackboard already has integration with Pearson, LearnSmart, and the Turnitin technologies, would Nopal be able to also have integration despite that? So we are looking at integrations with other third-party vendors and applications to come in and utilize Nopal and basically be able to have the LTI integration right on Nopal, and that is definitely something that we're looking into. We're already looking into Turnitin technologies integration with clickers on the platform. Obviously, right now we're in our minimal viable product, which is called the MVP stage, and we're building out our classroom environment. So that is definitely something that we're looking into. Are you looking to expand this to other universities in the future, Keisha? Yes, we are looking to expand to other universities. We are in talks with several other universities right now about potential contracts and partnerships, and we'll let you know once we have those solidified. Is this primarily for academic use or social usage? Which direction does Nopal want to go in? So this is primarily for your academic use, but allows you to have a social experience on Nopal, so you will be able to use this for your courses and also outside of your courses. Eventually, when Nopal is a full implementation, you'll be able to create groups, you'll be able to talk with other students that are not in your classes and be able to have that essential social network on Nopal. And that'll allow you to communicate, create groups, meet other people within your university and have a more collaborative university experience and be able to find out about new opportunities and clubs and organizations. And for me as a student, when I was a freshman, I wish I had something that kind of told me, okay, maybe you'll like this based on the clubs and interests that you already have. And so as a student, you might be in certain clubs, but you might not know about the 480 other clubs that are on campus. And so this allows you to be able to do that.
Great. And then next question I see from Carmen Picarello. Are you open to connecting with existing apps like Instagram, Twitter, etc.? Definitely not in the near future. The way we see Nopal is kind of filling this gap between things you do outside the university that are very just social and personal, and things like LinkedIn that are very professional. We want to make facilitating communication and collaboration for your academics and your university experience as easy as possible. We don't want to inundate you with things that are too personal or the consumer side of things. We make it an efficient platform for you. So probably we'd view Instagram and Twitter as more cluttering than providing an efficient value for students right now, but in the future, we're always open to anything that we might think would work well with the product.
Exactly. Connor asks, what other campuses have you introduced Nopal at? How many courses within the U of A have accepted using Nopal? So answer the first one. Other campuses, we have ASU, again, Ohio University, and Pima that we're piloting at. And so we're at the stage of piloting our classroom environment. And so that's really important, is that we're not at a full implementation yet, but that is the goal, to get to a full implementation, be able to validate that full implementation, and then scale that across the nation, just like D2L, Blackboard, and Canvas have done. How many courses within the U of A have accepted Nopal using Nopal? We have over 25 courses at University of Arizona alone. So we are currently working with over 15 faculty currently here at the U of A, and that's spread across multiple different departments, including Eller as one of them.
Yeah. And the next question from Megan Helfond. What is your plan for expanding your product to other universities? So right now we're targeting universities that have both Google Apps for Education, because as you noticed with the product demonstration, we heavily rely on using a lot of Google Apps because they're just so great and everybody's familiar with them. And then also integrating with PeopleSoft, which is the student information system. That's a system that just houses things like your name, personal information, your academic courses. That just sends all those details to Nopal, so you guys don't have to manually enter those as well. And we can communicate with university systems. And so we're targeting universities across the country that have those two features, and then also going to things like conferences just to get in front of customers and really talk to people, and then recommendations, because a lot of professors love it. And they might teach courses at multiple universities if they're online courses, or professors who just aren't in residence at any single university, and they'll recommend us to other universities to talk to get the product out there. So a multi-faceted approach, but primarily looking at schools that have the features of PeopleSoft and Google Apps for Education.
Exactly. In terms of William's question, how do you plan to appeal to teachers that are unsure about using this new product? The key thing for teachers is they want a platform that's easy to use. They want something that can reduce redundancy, make their life easier, and make them not have to work as much in terms of managing this technology, and more focus on actually teaching. And for the students, learning. And so when we talk to teachers, we make sure to tell them, look, this is a easy to use product that's focused on the end user. Currently we're in the piloting stage, and we're listening to you and your feedback. D2L, Blackboard, they're focused on administration. They're not focused on building a product for the end user, and we are. And so this is something that can be focused and customized to your needs. When you come in here, we're going to help you out. We have support, 24/7 support on the platform for students and for faculty, and we'll have that going forward. So when we scale to other schools, we'll have dedicated individuals selected just for these universities that we're at to make sure that they have a fantastic experience on Nopal and never go without a question answered. And so the product is catered to them as an end user, as a faculty member, and they'll like it because a lot of the redundancy will be reduced by not as many emails. More communication will be happening right on the bulletin for their course page, and students will be actually answering a lot of the questions that they might have had to answer before, so making their life easier. It's an easy-to-use product. Daniel's question, there are many sites U of A uses already, like Blackboard, D2L, and others. Each has a ton of features I'm sure I don't even know about, and most I might not use. Can't believe I'm the only one that uses these platforms minimally. Feeling that other services can do everything easier and better currently. How do you plan on changing this mentality? So I completely understand, from being a student at U of A, I had a ton of different platforms besides Blackboard and D2L. I had OrgSync I was in student government, and a ton of different things I was using on my own. And what I wanted to do is kind of eliminate that mentality of having all these different platforms. So I wanted to have one to be able to do all these different things. And so we're doing that right now. We're working with administration to be able to eliminate the other platforms that you do see. Obviously and unfortunately, we have to, while we're going through this piloting stage, have to work with having multiple platforms, but the eventual goal is to eliminate the other ones and have one place to do this, and have that extend beyond the classroom on Nopal as well, so you can eliminate the OrgSyncs and the other social platforms that are unnecessary and kind of scatter information. That's a real big thing, is when you're a freshman or sophomore or even junior or senior, information is scattered all over the place, and it's very hard to find that information. For freshmen and sophomores that are coming to the school, it's very hard for them to find that information, know where it is, and the ones that are able to find information are usually able to be retained and be able to stay in school. And so that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that the students that might not be able to find that information very easily can find it in an easy way right on Nopal. What is your progress, from Jordan? What is progress on your Nopal app? Is it available in the App Store free? It will be free, so that's number one. Number two, we are currently in development on the Nopal app, and it'll have the functionality of what you see on the bulletin, so you'll be able to post, ask questions, ask anonymously right on Nopal, right through nopal.arizona.edu. You'll also be able to see your agenda on there, and you'll be able to get push notifications. So it's really huge is that we've seen is that retention rates can potentially increase if you're able to send notifications to students about their assignments. And so that there's an article in the New York Times about it, and we're working on this feature right on Nopal and within our mobile app. And so we foresee that this can really have a big impact on students and be able to have them potentially retain through the university because we're able to notify them about things, and maybe they won't drop out of school because they were notified about assignments and they kept up to date on everything that's going on. Good question. And Brooke asked, will you be able to access things like UAccess and the website to make advisor appointments? Eventually, Brooke, that is the plan, is to be able to integrate all the different services within a university and to allow the university to hold all of their services within Nopal. That is eventually Nopal 4.0, and it's probably 3 years away from that happening. But that is the ultimate plan, to allow the university to have to register their courses through Nopal, so they don't have to use PeopleSoft, and also to allow the university to also have different departments on campus, like advisors, to make online appointments even. So if you want to use Google Hangouts for an online advisor appointment, that way you can be at your house or be on somewhere on campus and don't have to travel to the advisor to be able to have that appointment. So that is the ultimate goal. And with Nopal and having the different groups that we have certified on campus, that will be able to make that happen. Charles Abram.
All right, I see a couple of questions from Charles here about costs and running Nopal. So the great thing I mentioned earlier is that we're cloud delivered, so we're hosted on Amazon Web Services. That means that unlike a lot of our competitors, Blackboard and Desire to Learn, they often have servers like literally housed in university administration buildings, and then the university has to pay people to manage and take care of and update those servers. What we do is we deliver via Amazon, so it's over the cloud. It's just pushed directly into the university, so they don't have to maintain their own servers. That also means that we get those benefits of scale, and it's very cheap to deliver service to users. So I'm looking right now at about $1.50 per user without user support, and then we can have user support in terms of you guys can ask Q&A to people on our team, about $3 per user if our response time is within 24 hours. So it's relatively cheap, and the great thing is that it's getting cheaper over time as those server costs go down, because Amazon just gets cheaper and cheaper every year as they scale up with Moore's Law.
Okay, and then Cindy is asking, there are lots of online classes that consist of posting discussions. Where could we do that on Nopal? And that includes replying to others. So far it seems that we can only post on Bulletin that allows us to reply to each other. So we are developing a feature within courses that will allow you to have discussion boards, and the faculty member will be able to post those discussion boards within assignments, and you'll be able to have your own discussion board within your assignment. Right now, we're utilizing groups. So for some of the courses at U of A as well as ASU, they're utilizing the groups feature to have discussion boards about certain things. So if they want to have assignment 1 discussion board, they'll make a group for that, call it assignment 1 discussion board, and invite all the students to that course and then to that group, and then be able to have that discussion regarding that certain assignment. And so that's what we're doing right now until we have the functionality within the course and assignments. Daniel asks, very good question. Just curious, do you have any affiliation with NoteHall? If I recall, it was a U of A graduate startup company. We do not have any affiliation with NoteHall, but we do get that question asked a lot. We have talked with the founder of NoteHall, Sean, and he's a great guy. He's currently in San Francisco, so they're working on something else. NoteHall actually got bought out by Chegg, and they were on Shark Tank, so I'm sure you guys know. Ryan asks, what would you say your #1 competitive advantage is that could separate you from your competitors? I would say the social aspect of Nopal, as well as the integration between Google Apps, is the 2 things that would be the biggest competitive advantages that we have. Other applications such as D12, Blackboard, Canvas, list goes on with learning management systems, there's only one-way communication from professor to students. On Nopal, you can have many different types of communication, student to student, student to professor, and also back and forth between the class. And so there's a lot of that social capability that really goes beyond what Canvas and Blackboard and D2L do, and as well as a further thing to go further beyond that is that we extend beyond the classroom, where they're only focused on courses as their main component and what they're built on. We're focused on a social network within your university. So courses are one of the things that we do within Notebowl, and there's many other possibilities which extend our possibility for revenue and obviously getting additional revenue streams within the platform. So that's our one big competitive advantage. And also having Google Apps, having Google Hangouts, Hangouts on Air, application integrated automatically into Notebowl is huge. We've talked to the Google team about this, founder of Google Drive, who is extremely impressed with our integration that we were able to accomplish. So it's definitely something that is a competitive advantage of ours as well.
Yeah, and then I see Austin has the next question asking about hosting servers. So do we expect the university to completely maintain the server functionality and upkeep, or do we expect the university to do it as an individual? So just 2 points here. Again, this relates to the servers. So we're cloud delivered, so the university doesn't have to do any upkeep or maintenance. When we do all of our updates instantaneously, they're delivered on rolling deployments, meaning there's no downtime for updates. So if you guys have used D2L Blackboard in the past and it says, oh, down for maintenance for the next 12 hours, the next few days, that never happens on Notebowl because we're cloud delivered. And we expect to maintain this in the future. And we're also a universal product, meaning every university uses the exact same version of Notebowl. So everybody, whether you're University of Arizona or like the University of Delaware, you're going to be on the current version of Notebowl, which isn't true of Blackboard or Desire to Learn. The university runs a hosted version, whether it's version 9.0, 8.0, and they can be on very different versions. So that's how we're different there.
Yep. And then Kyle asked, do you have a patent and trademark for Notebowl? We do. We did a provisional and then full patent application for Notebowl. That's in progress, and usually that takes around 2 to 3 years, which we have to wait for that, and as well as the trademark is almost finalized right now. Okay.
Great questions, guys.
Yeah, great questions. Let's see if there's any others.
Matthew, do you think we answered them all? Any of you guys getting any more feedback there? Let us know in the chat.
And if you guys want to ask any questions anonymously, you can also go about doing that as well. So if you don't feel comfortable asking a question, feel free to ask it anonymously. And to do that, you can just post on the top and then press anonymous. You can ask any question you want.
Side note on the anonymous feature, just so everyone's aware, it's anonymous peer-to-peer, so none of your other students in your class can see who's posting what. So it's anonymous to them, but Matt, who has control of the classroom and can see who's posting anonymously, just so everyone's fully aware.
Oh, another question. Oh, here we go, 2 more. All right. All right. Is there a risk of data being lost or compromised since we use the cloud? So we're FERPA certified, same level of certification as D2L and Blackboard. So there really isn't a compromise or a risk of getting that data compromised, similar to what D2L and Blackboard have. They currently run in servers on in-house, and so they'll manually update their servers within the University of Arizona currently, and it's extremely slow, and that's why you have a lot of downtime in terms of having 1 to 2 weeks of downtime in the summer or before classes start or before certain semesters or even during the semester you'll have a lot of downtime. And so what we're trying to do is utilize the cloud to be able to host that and be able to make it a much better experience for you. Keisha is asking, will you look to hire within U of A as you grow? Yes, so we definitely will look to hire within many universities. We obviously have a huge team from U of A. We do have some students from the school up north at ASU. Sorry about that. But we will look to hire individuals from U of A as we grow. What other legal issues, from Kevin, what other legal issues do you predict Nopal will run into the future? Obviously, gaining patents is a huge thing for us, so we'll be looking to go and, when we develop more features, we'll be able to go ahead and look ahead with the additional funding that we have to be able to utilize our resources to be able to get more patents. And obviously, if any other companies try to go after us, we'll have the funds to be able to do so. Jessica asks, I use a social school work platform like this in middle school, and it became an information overload with tons of same comments from students. It was hard to find the teacher's post. Is there a way to separate, to have two separate sections, one for the teachers only to post and one for students to post? So we actually are solving this issue. There, when we have larger courses, we are going to be able to filter out posts. So first, faculty members will be able to highlight certain posts that they have and pin them to the top, and so you'll be able to see the students' post. And then below that, you'll be able to see the faculty members' post on top, and then below that, you'll be able to see the students' members' post. So that will help with filtering out, and then we'll also include additional features that will allow you as a student to filter right from the top of the bulletin. So if you just want to see one course and just faculty posts, you'll be able to see that right away. And if you want to see all posts, you'll be able to see that too. So it'll allow you, we'll add additional functionality that will allow you to filter out the posts. Good question. Daniel said, what percentage of classes in the university do you expect to use Nopal? Well, right now it's obviously a much smaller percent. We have around 5% of the student population using Nopal at University of Arizona, which is the largest actually for a pilot program ever in the university's history. But for us moving forward, and if we do a full implementation, we will expect to have that around 90% or above that, and hopefully everyone will be utilizing Nopal for their classroom. Now, obviously, at a university, not every professor has to use the platform of choice by the university, so currently D2L is not used by everyone. Also isn't a platform that's focused on the end user, and the same with Blackboard. So professors are required to submit their syllabus on there, but besides that, they can choose to use other platforms if they'd like. Can you, Carmen, Alex, do you want to take Carmen's question?
Yeah. Carmen, so yeah, a lot of our discussion here is kind of migrated over to just what Nopal is and does and where we're trying to grow in the future. But specifically for your course, again, this is a market research course, we have a very real problem or an issue we want to have researched for us. So again, we license our product in multi-year agreements. They're called site licenses to universities. We charge based on the number of students that a university has. So for example, you might charge $10 per student. If a school like U of A has 40,000 students, that'd be $400,000 a year. That's how we make money as a business, and that's kind of the industry standard right now. But because we want to do a lot of really cool things, a lot of innovative things with Nopal, including bringing a lot of the non-academic parts of the university experience onto Nopal. So those are your clubs, organizations, departments on campus, bookstores, student unions, all that sort of good stuff. Can we make money by having their presence on the platform? Specifically, can we facilitate the marketing of university products and services on our platform? So imagine buying things, again, like your meal plan, like your sports pass, on Nopal. Nopal will facilitate that transaction and take a cut or a fee from doing so. And since universities process a lot of money, could that possibly be a replacement for our licensing model, where instead of charging the university a multi-year agreement of $400,000 per year, we would give Nopal away for free and make the money facilitating transactions of university products and services? We need a lot more information whether this is a good idea. We need you guys' help in terms of regulatory issues. Is there a market for it? How would it work? How are students currently paying for these sort of things on campus? Those are a general, broad overview of the questions we're looking to have answered.
Exactly. Other question was, how many employees do you currently have? We have currently 14 employees, mainly developers, designers, mixed from both U of A and ASU. Brooke asks, how many schools do you predict will be picking up your product in the next year? We predict at least additional 5 schools that will be picking up by this summer. They'll be utilizing us for fall. And also when we go to different conferences, we have the opportunity to meet with over 100 to 400 schools with the different conferences that we're attending, mainly in terms of us marketing our product. We're not trying to market our product on Facebook or these different kind of avenues. More when we market, we go into these conferences that are the standard for higher education. We go and talk to these CIOs in person. We went to a conference back in Orlando in October and got selected to go there. We were selected as a top 20 startup company within Startup Alley at EDUCAUSE, and I got to talk with over 50 different university CIOs, which is a really cool experience. And then additionally, we'll be going to several other conferences in the near future. Daniel said, would you want Nopal to replace a university's websites, i.e. bookstore website, athletic website? So we kind of see that very similar. It won't replace their university websites, but we see it replacing maybe their functionality of trying to market to students. So they try to maybe use, right now they'll use posters or emails mainly to message to you guys as students on campus. And so instead of doing that, what's more effective, and a lot of times students don't read their emails, or they're marked as spam or just trash them instantly, what we'll try to do is try to cater those messages to the users that most would like to see those messages at that certain time. And so I see that replacing the functionality of having to try to market your product. You'll market it on Nopal and message to the students right on Nopal instead of using posters, flyers, emails, all of that. Additionally, and it'll be in addition to Facebook, but mainly Facebook will be outreach outside of their school. Inside the school, internally, within the students within the university, will be on Nopal.
That's a great question for the marketing project.
Yeah. Okay. Matthew, are there any other questions if you just want to type on the right-hand side? If there's not, we can go right into the social media challenge that I'm going to do.
Yeah, one more while you're doing that, Andrew. Daniel O'Leary, so would one goal be syncing a student's Bursars account to a future Nopal store as a source of funding? So in the near term, definitely just doing credit card and debit card transactions, but as we develop these relationships with universities, it definitely would make sense to link a student's Bursar account on Nopal. So when you register for courses, you can pay for everything you do at university on Nopal as well. So yes, the plan would definitely be to have your Bursars account linked to Nopal.
Definitely. And then the other question is, Austin was asking, how did you decide on the name Nopal? It came from trying to think of a place where we can hold information, and one place where we can do that, a bowl of information, notes as information, and note also as the social aspect of the platform, you being able to comment or note and communicate and like different posts, and that is part of the social aspect on Nopal. Okay, I guess we'll wait a couple more minutes. I think we are done. Okay, great. All right, so real quick, what we're going to do is I'm going to, of course, we're not in person this time. Last time we gave away some T-shirts, and we're going to have some members of our team going to be stopping by in the next week to be able to give some T-shirts to you guys for the ones that post. So right now, I'm going to post. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. We're going to do a little challenge. So if you're on your computers, I want you to go to twitter.com and log into your Twitter account while I'm pulling this up. One second. Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen with this one window, and when you guys are ready, if you guys are on Twitter, we'll be doing a little post and contest. So we're going to select the 3rd post, the 5th post, and the 7th post to be able to get a T-shirt, a Nopal T-shirt, and you can use either one of these sentences that I'm going to share with you right now. So if you guys are ready, and I'll be checking notifications on Twitter as we go. 1 second. Okay. All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right, you can use any of those 2 sentences, post directly to Twitter, and I'm going to check the notifications right now. It's either bye-bye Blackboard using Nopal this semester at U of A, or my class is using Nopal this semester at U of A. Check the Twitter. And then we'll make sure to give you guys the T-shirts in person. Okay, got them coming in right now. All right. Oh, we got a lot. All right, keep going. You guys can still win. All right, a couple more. Okay. All right. So we have some winners. All right. The first winner is Christina. You will be getting an Opal T-shirt. We'll make sure to be contacting you and get you the T-shirt at class in the coming week. The next winner is Carmen. You'll be winning. Thank you. And then the last winner is Jordan Merritt. So I will make sure to take all your information, and we'll bring the T-shirts to you and email you to get your correct size. Great. All right, Matthew, do you have anything else that you want us to go over? Anything additionally? If not, we'll stop the broadcast.
I think we're done. So, yeah, great. Yeah, this video will be posted to the bulletin afterwards. It's saved via YouTube. So if you have students who aren't there, or if you guys want to review something that you missed while we were talking, go ahead and do so. But thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you guys working with us, and we're really excited this semester for you guys to help us out and to learn more about using Nopal and be supportive of a U of A startup.
Yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast right now. All right, bye guys.